usual. So last episode, we vaguely talked about Amy Lee was rumored to be the lead singer for this Linkin Park tour that's apparently going to happen in 2025. She came out and made a statement saying they have not reached out to me. I'm busy. I could probably do it part time if they wanted me to, but I have not talked to them about this. So now there's just a bunch of rumors floating around on who this female lead singer could be for the band. So what's your thoughts on that in general first?
I'll give you my thoughts on Amy Lee first. I mean, no disrespect, but I'm glad it's not her. I just don't see her as a fit. I think she's good at what she does, but doesn't I don't I don't see it working with Linkin Park. Outside of her, I mean, I've tried to think about this and I've rattled my brain on this. I don't know. This is going to be the sexist part of me that my wife always likes to call out. I don't know that I see a female vocalist pulling it off. Not because they can't vocally do it, meaning obviously a female vocalist could have Chester's range, but the intensity, the emotion, the grit. I'm just trying to think. I think there are some metal female vocalists who potentially could do some of this stuff, but I think Chester was one of a kind, man. And I don't know many male vocalists, to be honest with you, that could pull it off as I
So
think about it.
who, as far as female fronted metal bands, did you have any on the off the top of your head?
As far as singing goes, no.
Because I
I
don't
think
know,
yeah, I mean, I
like
think
in
there are
general, I've
some that
never
do a
heard.
combination of singing and screaming that could make it cool. It won't be Chester.
Well, that's the thing.
And
I think any one male or female going into this trying to be Chester is going to be an epic fail.
you have
I
big shoes to fill, but you not only do you have big shoes to fill because the guy was good, but he had a very unique style of emoting his parts.
right.
And when he transitioned from verses to choruses or soft to sort of aggressive, like to go from a lower intensity to a higher intensity, I don't think many people did it better. And I really just think he's one of those dudes that cannot be replicated. And so it's like, how do you do it? How do you find someone that you're also talking about pleasing a giant fan base who have years and years and a giant catalog that they love. And many bands have tried to do this before and they have failed. Some bands have pulled it off with, finding a different singer and but bands as established as Linkin Park, it's like how do you do it?
How do the fans react? How do they accept it? Because as I said, you can't try to be Chester. It just isn't going to work. You're gonna have to bring a not a new style, but somewhat of a new dynamic. And I don't know that Linkin Park fans, as true as Linkin Park fans are, I don't know how they'll react.
Well, I think their fans will be more forgiving of whoever it is than some fans of other bands would be, to be honest with you. I think they're generally speaking a positive group of guys, and I think they kind of built this reputation as being positive people, and I think their fan base kind of reflects that. With that said, again, you have at this point a legendary catalog that you have to play and that singer has to perform and
Well, that's the other question too. Do they have to limit what their set looks like? Because from what I've seen, like they're looking at headlining festivals and stuff too. Like this isn't
yeah.
just what's on a bill. This is like headlining festivals. So we're talking, quite a few songs on a set. So do they have to limit their set based off of who they're picking?
Well, the good news is this: if you're headlining festivals, all you have to do is play your hits.
Good point.
So whoever the replacement is, learn those hits, learn them well, and do them well.
Right.
Easier said than done. I mean, I'm an asshole, man. I can't think of a female singer that I really see, and maybe I'm just not thinking hard enough. I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna look up and see if anybody's named anyone because maybe this is an ignorance on my part, but well, it is an ignorance on my part, obviously, but I can't think of anyone. And apparently, the singer of Orgy is the one that broke this news. He was being interviewed on some
I
radio show.
Yeah, what was his name?
Jay Gordon.
Yeah, okay, I seen that earlier. Is
He
he
said there.
so
Go ahead.
he was on a radio show or does he do a radio show?
He was on a radio. No, he was on a radio show, and he let it slip that there might be something in the works regarding Linkin Park and Bennington's replacement. That being that it
So
will
what
be an interesting choice.
I wonder what his connection to them is.
He's friends with them.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They did the what tour was it? I don't remember. They did a tour together. Probably a couple tours, to be honest with you. But yeah, no, I mean, they're. But he didn't name anybody. How did Amy Lee's name even come up?
It's hard telling. That somebody probably said female lead singer, and all of a sudden it just rumors started swirling. I'm sure there's rumors out there for Lizzie Hale and for, pretty much any mainstream female, I bet.
I'm just gonna Google. This is another ignorance on my part. Outside of those two, I can't think of many. I know there's like, I don't know, you don't even know her name, but there's like the front woman of Ginger, and I don't know how much I'm not too in tune with what that band does, but I don't think she sings all that much. Maybe she does.
Is there a band called like Arches or something like that that's a woman a woman fronted metal band? Do you know what I'm
Man,
talking
I'm
about?
really sexist. Maybe. I don't fucking know, dude. I'm terrible.
Do you know the band Stand Atlantic?
No. Who's
No.
that?
So I had you pull up a video a while ago, before the show.
Okay.
If you want, let's go ahead and pull that up and
So let's
watch
see. Well,
this.
here's a list. Let's go down this list. So Amy Lee, Avril Lavigne, some band called The Warning, Haley from Paramore. I know there's Diamante because I played with her. She
Yeah.
cannot do it. There's the Pretty Reckless. I don't think she can do it. Fit for Rivals, Kuna Coil. She can't do it.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Lacuna Coil.
The Interrupters, but they're punk. She don't see her doing it. Hailstorm, we said.
Stand Atlantic, I believe, is the name of the.
Man, is there a more emo name than that?
I don't even know
So
what it
they did.
means.
So they did Bleed It Out with Mike Shinoda.
Yes,
How'd this happen?
and I don't know, but I wasn't all that impressed. So I want to get your thoughts
Oh, you
because you're the hater
hater.
on the show, right?
Okay. By the way, if there's a coverable song by them for any vocalist, it's this one.
Even the screaming part. I think the screaming part is
Well, the
why they
screaming
did
part's
this.
the harder part. But I mean, this is the one I played for you. They did Sum 41 was playing and they brought out Mike Shinoda and they did Bleed It Out.
Yeah, that's right.
And dude from Sum 41 did pretty goddamn well.
Oh, dude, wouldn't that be cool?
Eh,
Some 41's ending, right?
eh,
Bring him on tour.
it was good for that song, but yeah, I don't know, man.
To hang this noose, string me up from a
Again, I mean no disrespect to any of the people we've named. It's just I'm just saying you have big shoes to fill. You have a tough
Right.
job.
Yep.
And I would say if you don't think you can do it, meaning like you can't pull it off, then don't do it. Like don't half-ass it. Don't give it the old college try. Like
Yeah, here we go for the 100th time. Hand grenade pins in every line. Throw them up and let something shine. Going out of my fucking mind. Filthy mouth, no excuse. Find a new place to hang this noose. String me up from atop these roofs. Not tight so I won't get loose. Truth is you can stop and stare. Bled myself out and no one cares. Dug a trench out and lay down there with a shovel up.
so this is the band playing with him.
I guess I don't know who these other people are. To be
We'll look
honest
them
with
up.
you.
We'll look 'em- Stand Atlantic. That was the name?
Yes, that's the name of the band.
Reach somewhere, yeah, someone pour it in. Make it a dirt dance floor again. Say your prayers and stop it out when they bring that chorus in. I bleed it out.
Digging deeper just to throw it away. I bleed it out, digging deeper just to throw it away. I bleed it out, digging deeper just to throw it away. Just to throw it away, just to throw it away.
I bleed it out. Go stop the show. Choppy words in a sloppy flow. Shotgun opera, lock and low. Cock it back and then watch it go. Mama help me, I've been cursed. Death is rolling in every verse. Candy paint on his brand new hearse that I can't contain him. I know he works. Fuck this hurts, I won't lie. Doesn't matter how hard I try. Afterwards don't mean a thing, and I know that I won't be satisfied. So why try ignoring him? Make it a dirt dance floor again. Say your prayers and stop it out when they bring that chorus in. I bleed it out.
Digging deeper just to throw it away. I bleed it out, digging deeper just to throw it away. I bleed it out, digging deeper just to throw it away. Just to throw it away, just to throw it away. I bleed it out. I've opened up these scars. I'll make you face this. I've thrown myself so far. I'll make you face this now. Bleed it
I mean, it's not bad, but it's not.
It's not bad, but I feel like a lot of the other female vocalists that you mentioned could do what she just did, and I don't think that's enough.
I don't think. Let's be very clear. I don't think it's enough for male or female vocalists to do just enough,
Right? Yeah,
like
yeah,
she just did.
yeah.
You know, that's also a very controlled environment with cleaned up sound and all that good stuff,
Right.
which is fine. That's 2024, but again, I'm being picky and I'm being hard on these folks because again, you're replacing Chester Bennington. I just don't know if it's if I'm the band, it's like, do we seriously? I mean, obviously, you don't start a new band with a new name and a new presence in the music community and the rock community, especially because capitalize on what Linkin Park is. You know, they say they want to tour.
But
That's
also,
big money.
but also they're going out with two members not being a part of the band too. That kind of sucks.
Well, that's allegedly. We don't know that to be true. I mean, who knows? They might turn around once they know who the. Who knows, man? That's just what people are saying. But let me say this: the two members that they're going out without, again, I mean, no disrespect to them. I think they're replaceable. It's the drummer and the DJ. It's like, could you find another drummer to fill in? Sure. And do well and do a great job? Absolutely. I'm not saying that the drummer of Linkin Park is not good and he's easily replaced, but he's easier to replace than Chester Bennington. And so is Mr. Hahn. Or maybe they just
Do you think Mr. Hahn could have been replaced back when like Hybrid Theory was being put out?
like
I'm
before it
saying
was put
because
out
things
or
have
like shortly after it was
no,
put out.
I'm saying like things have progressed in music so much since what was that? 01?
I mean, I'm sure back then maybe there was somebody, but again, it would have been I think it would have been a taller task back then than it is now. Yeah,
That it is
definitely.
now, right? Yeah, that's what I mean.
So again, that was okay. Do you want to finish it? Or do you
That's up to
care?
you. Don't
Let's
matter to me.
finish it. Let's give this band their props.
Out digging deeper just to throw it away. I bleed it out, digging deeper just to throw it away. I bleed it out, digging deeper just to throw it away.
Okay, let me say this. Now I know what I want to say about this particular vocalist. She has her own thing going on. And her own thing does not work for Chester.
Do you hear some Haley in there?
Exactly. She has the emo-y sort of
Yeah.
emo-y might be a terrible word to use, but yes, she has that
It's
inflection in her singing
yeah.
that you hear in a lot of, to be honest with you, people her age.
Okay.
Chester doesn't have that. He has
Yeah.
his own thing, which again, to duplicate that will be tough.
Right.
So I think of all the people we named, I don't know. I just don't know. I just don't know. I just can't picture it. I just can't envision anyone doing it right now. And maybe again, I'm probably not thinking of the right people, male or female, that could pull it off. And not only pull it off, but you know, make it convincing, overly
Right.
convincing, to where you're like, that's the new singer of Linkin Park. I'll tell you this: when Chester was singing in Stone Temple Pilots, I appreciated it because when I saw it, I love Chester. B, I love Stone Temple Pilots. So the combination of the two for me, just as a fan, was great, right? And but I did hear a lot of people saying like he just doesn't sound like Scott Weiland. It's it's just too, and that was the thing too, where I heard people say, well, Chester's too he's too clean for Scott Weiland. Which in a way I understand because Scott Weiland had his own dirty, grimy voice. But here's the thing: Chester on Linkin Park music has his own grimy sort of thing going on. So again, to
Right.
sort of, and grimy might not be the word to use, but you get what I'm saying. He has his own emotional thing that he does with his vocals on those songs. So to find someone that can nail that, I'm always apprehensive about that stuff too, man, because just as someone who does sing, I would hate to just do a disservice to the person. It shouldn't be karaoke. It shouldn't be a tribute. It should be, I got this. There's no question about it. When you hear me do this, it sounds to as close as you could imagine someone doing Chester, you know.
Yeah,
So
but then I don't know. I think you still have part of the crowd that doesn't like that either. Like doesn't like that you're
sure.
trying to be the person that they loved this band for, you know?
Well, do you want to hear the band or not?
Exactly. Right.
I
Well, and that's
think
like, you know,
I think true fans of the band, I think true fans of the band will like it regardless, unless the person's just totally butchering things and sort of doing a disservice in sort of in like an intentional sort of, I'm making this my own thing and I don't care to sound like Chester. You're gonna like it, that type of thing.
well,
So
I also think as long as Mike Shinoda's been around and the rest of the guys in that band, like, I don't think they're going to go out on the road not thinking that this is working before they go out. You know what I mean? Just like you said with when Chester joined STP, like, I don't think those guys would have went out on the road if they didn't think that Chester was killing it as the new frontman for that band. Like, it
well,
still has to work. It still has to work.
I'm gonna do you one better though. I think those guys are pro enough and believe in themselves enough to make us all believe that they're making it work. Because look at
Okay.
it this way. Let's talk about Stone Temple Pilots. Stone Temple Pilots goes, well, yeah, we got we got the lead singer of Linkin Park. Of course you're gonna like it. That would have been my attitude if I was in that band. It's fucking Chester. You're gonna like it. What do you mean? What's the
Right.
problem? So if you're Linkin Park and you get a big name person who can pull it off, you go, oh, it's such and such. You'll like it. Don't worry. We got it. We're going to play these songs. We're going to play them with love. We're going to play them with the same fire and emotion that we used to. And the person who replaced Chester will live on through this person. Right. Or they totally get spooked and they go, yeah, no one can do this. I don't see that happening, but it could.
I think the only difference would be, and I've used this example a million times on this show, but the 3 days grace
Yeah.
situation. When Adam left and they brought that Matt guy in, I think for the first record or two that they put out, like, and when he joined the band, he was trying to be Adam.
Right.
And I mean, I heard them live several times in the beginning, and he didn't, like, it did not work at all. And everybody around me was telling me that this is not working because he was trying to be Adam, and you can't be Adam. And I think
Yeah.
after a couple of records, he finally got his groove. And it's still not my cup of tea, but it's a lot better than it was in the beginning.
Yeah, I don't know that I've ever heard any of the records or any of I'm sure I've heard one or two of the songs with him, but I don't remember them. I have seen them live, and I thought the first time that I saw it, I was like, again, big shoes to fill. I think I saw him twice after that, and I was like, oh yeah, he did good. It was good. It's better than it was the first time that I saw it. But here's the other thing too, and this is what we haven't said about Linkin Park. When you have a band that has amassed so many hits, does it matter? Does it matter? You got sing-along songs. You got songs.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Let the crowd be singer number 2.
Okay. If we're gonna play that card, what about, for some reason, Jacoby leaves Papa Roach?
Okay.
You bring in another singer. I mean, they have 8 billion hits.
Sure.
Can you bring in another front man and just, as long as you're playing the hits, you're fine?
Yeah, I'll do it.
That would be so dope.
Yeah, I mean, I think you could. But again, think of it this way too. If they're doing festivals and things like that, the festival crowds are showing up for the name and the songs. So as long
True.
as they hear those songs, you have a pretty good shot at making it work. But I also don't want to make it seem like music fans are stupid. They're not. They want to hear the best version of what the songs are and what the vocals would be. But
that's also like the whole like the Motley Crue situation and all that, where like he just sounds awful anymore, and like it just seems like he's running words together. But
well, that's different. That's different.
but
That's
the crowd still loves the songs.
Sure.
And as long as it's close enough, everybody's like, okay. Now I understand it's still the same lead singer and it's still the band. I get it. But it's like, maybe you should give it up because you sound awful, but people don't care because it's still Motley Crue.
Yeah. I'll give you an example of kind of what I'm talking about, of how I think a singer replaced a singer. Now, we're not talking about Linkin Park caliber by any means, but a singer replaced a singer, and the fans were so clamoring for the band to continue on and to keep hearing the songs and also hear new music. And the new music went on to be more successful than the music before it. But so when Jesse Leach left Killswitch Engage, one of my favorite bands, and Howard Jones took over, when I've seen that band so many times, and I remember seeing them when he first took over. When he had to start singing the songs that Jesse recorded on their first record, he had a he had a tendency to lean on the crowd to sing a lot of the hooks and a lot of the stuff. Whether that was a confidence thing, whether it was like, I know they love these songs, I'm just going to let them do it. I'm here to perform, or it was a combination of both. He caught a lot of shit for that with band dudes. Let me be very clear. With band dudes were upset about it. But like, and I remember going, man, I wish he would just do it because I know he can nail it. Like, we've heard him sing it. We know he can do it. But again, you have a room full of 2,000 people that want to hear My Last Serenade. Let him sing it, you know? Scream your dick off
Yeah.
on the verses and then let him sing the choruses. Who gives a fuck, you know? Is
Right.
that any less of an experience for the crowd? Maybe to a small percentage of the people there, but when I was in those rooms and watching that band play, boy, there were a lot of people having a good time, and they didn't seem to care that he wasn't doing the vocals all the way, or he was not committing to certain parts. And again, I don't know if that was a confidence thing or just, dude, these songs rule, and there are plenty of people here who are here to hear these songs. I'm gonna let them be a part of the show. I don't know. We're also talking about
Did you did you s- did you stop being as much of a fan when Leach left?
no,
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 you were
definitely
still a
not.
fan?
No, I actually like the Howard stuff better.
Yeah. Have you
Oh
heard
yeah.
the Light Torch band stuff?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now Jesse's back in Kill Switch Engage, and it's just as good as when he was in the band and when Howard was in the band. I think. Do I think Howard's a better singer, vocalist? Yeah, all around, I think he's better. But
What about Asking Alexandria? Because that was the same kind of situation, right?
I don't know
I
that
don't
I
know.
ever heard the dude that replaced Danny. I remember when they
Yeah,
came
I'm
to
not sure
St.
either.
Louis, it was with that guy. People sent me videos. Did they release a record with that guy?
I feel like they did, but I don't remember. No, I know they did because on the record they had like an interview type of thing on it, and they were bad mouthing Danny on the record
It's a bad
after
look.
he. Yeah,
But again, I would that band had such a following, and that dude was such a good vocalist. Tough, like, it's a tough job. I'll tell you another one that I actually like, Chiodos, for instance.
yeah.
When Craig Owens left, they put out a record with a new singer, and I think that record is phenomenal front to back. And for whatever reason, it just did not. And I'll tell you what I think it was, is because Craig Owens, when he was in that band really attracted younger audience, girls especially, and the appeal was gone when when the new singer came in. They became a metalcore band. There was no more, like, I'm going to use a word here that's going to be insulting, but I'm not trying to be. There was not as much fluff and as much like sceney stuff on it. It was more of a metal record. So I think they lost a little bit of that fan base, if you will.
Is
But
that a was it Bone Palace Ballet? That's that
yeah,
that the record you're talking about that has like the fluff on it and stuff. It's kind of like a.
well, that
I-
was the second one with Craig.
Oh, okay.
But I don't really like that record. I really stopped listening to them after the what's it called? All's Well That Ends Well. That's what it's called. Damn. They were on Warped Tour, and then he's doing, there are videos of him being chased by girls to his bus and things like that. It was just it was a thing. It was a thing that happened, especially during that time period. It was like the hot topic scene period for those types of bands. But the one
Gotcha.
with the singer that replaced him was Illuminatio, believe it's what it's called. But that record
We've
rules.
talked about this before. I did listen to that on your recommendation, but I'm gonna re-download it.
I told you to listen to that?
You did. Yeah, it's been a long time ago, but
Oh,
we definitely talked about it.
okay.
And they haven't put a record out since 2014. Man.
Yeah. I know they did some touring again with Craig, and I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Craig, but I won't get into that. While we're on the subject of Linkin Park, we can change topics here, but talk about. So recently, there was a Loudwire put out an article of the Mount Rushmore of new metal bands, which kind of stirred up a frenzy on YouTube and places like that. But they're big four, or I guess they asked the question, who is the big four of new metal? You know how like thrash metal has a big four, and so they said Korn, Limp Bizkit, Deftones, and Linkin Park, I believe is who they named. Now, I've said many times on this show, I don't necessarily believe that Deftones are a new metal band. I understand there are elements there in the early years, but they really grew out of it. And to a point, I would argue that Linkin Park did as well.
I still fall into this that so many people don't know what new metal actually is, or
I'll tell you what it is.
Should fall into that category.
I'll tell you what it is. A new metal band to me is a band that fully commits and does not decommit from the rap and hip hop, the merging of rap and hip hop in their sound. Okay.
Okay.
I don't feel that Limp Bizkit has ever vacated that idea, ever. I don't feel that Korn has either. Do I think both bands have evolved? Sure. Probably more so Korn than Limp Bizkit. But I think Korn's had more time to evolve because they kept going.
Well,
Limp Bizkit for...
If we're going by those guidelines on what makes new metal, then I think POD and Papa Roach need to be in that top four.
Okay, I'm glad you said that. Now, does Papa Roach really still stick to that formula?
Somewhat, but if there's no new metal, I mean, do you still consider bands new metal now, or do you think that came and went?
That's what we actually have to think about. Are we strictly reserving this to a time period?
I feel like you have to with new metal.
I think so too. But do I think there are new metal bands now? Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And I think you can hear the influence in a lot of newer bands or bands that have been successful outside of the genre or were never really considered new metal. So I think you can hear the sound, and I think it's there. But if we're talking about a time period, then I think the four that I just named, then yeah, those are the top four. Based on, impact, sales, and influence. Those are the top four. Who sold more than Linkin Park? Who sold more in a specific time period than Limp Bizkit? And who has endured the test of time more than Korn? And then when we're talking about influence, I mean, what band isn't influenced by Deftones?
Right.
Give
me a couple more bands that you would throw in there that specifically stick with that idea, like they've never shied away from, moved away from that rap and hip hop.
There aren't many. there aren't many, dude.
So it's not hard to come up with top four, is what you're saying.
Well, look, I mean, if you're talking about the top four of any genre, you really got to talk about the things I said: impact, influence, sales, overall longevity, things like that. Those four have to be, for most people, widely considered top four. I think there are other bands you could bring into the mix, such as Seven Dust, have stood the test of time, still putting out music, still great. Static X. Oh yeah, well, another one that gets thrown around, or two more. Oh, here, we didn't even say these, and these are big ones. But again, I argue that they're not new metal. Slipknot, for one. People say that. Slipknot's not a new metal band to me. They're a metal band.
Yeah.
I understand they had a DJ. Great. They're not a new metal band. I understand they came out when new metal was big. Fine. They're a metal band.
What does this might be a really dumb question, but what does the new mean? In you, what does that mean?
That's the hip hop of it, bro. That's being hip. Like spelling a word the way it's not supposed to be spelled.
Okay.
It's stupid, dude. It's stupid. But at the same time,
I just
it
needed
exists. It exists, so we have to accept it.
Okay.
Look, man, a lot of these bands could be lumped in, and I could start reeling off dozens of bands that are new metal that I think were great, that definitely did do that sound. Are they on the Mount Rushmore? No. But are they important to me? Absolutely. But another one people talk about is System of a Down. Again, I don't know that they're a new metal band. I think they're just a weird alt metal band.
What about Rage?
Now, I'm glad you said that. I me, definitely consider them to be the godfathers of nu metal. I might say that they're the pioneers. They don't want to be called nu metal. To them, I say, too bad. Look what you did. Look what you influenced.
What category do they put themselves in?
I don't know,
Or
rock,
or
metal.
do they?
Rock, I guess. I don't know. There's a
Probably
dude.
nothing. They
You can
think they're
imagine what Tom Morello has said about nu metal of all the interviews we watched with that guy. And I could probably even find it. It probably wouldn't be hard to find. Just Google Tom Morello talks about nu metal. He shits on it, and he said that we're not nu metal. And if people, he said something like, let's just find it. But if we're talking about the formula of rap meets rock, I mean, who's more nu metal than Rage Against the Machine?
That music became excess and spectacle and disrespect to audience and peers in a way that you saw at the most awful heights of the hair metal bands.
This character, Fred Durst thing, this monster that was created, you know, it sort of backfired on me. There was always negativity thrown at Limp Bizkit. Nobody really wanted us here in the first place. You know, nobody really wanted rap in the first place, and nobody really wanted metal. So rap metal, oh, now the metal guys don't want it, and the rappers don't want the metal. So I just think that I'm just that guy, I guess. Yeah, maybe I'm that guy.
I disagree with what both of them said. I think Caucasian rap fans still wanted metal. And I think there were a portion of metal fans that wanted rap. So when the two came together, it was a perfect blend for those people. That's why anything becomes successful. There's a group of people that either A, were clamoring for it, or B, discovered it and started liking it, and the word spread. And Tom Morello, to compare it to hair metal. Here's another thing about hair metal. Can we just stop calling it that? Can we just call it metal? Like, at what point does Motley Crue just become a metal band? They're not a hair metal band anymore. You know?
I don't know when they turn 50.
That was a long time ago, bro. I think they're all in their 60s at this point. So we need to catch up. I know they don't want to be considered nu metal, but I mean, Rage Against the Machine is. But for him to say some stuff like that, like to hear a band like Limp Bizkit and then go, and to not have any inclination to be like, yeah, I could kind of hear our influence in that band. It's like, what? You don't hear it? You don't feel it? You don't like, who do you think they were listening to? You don't think any, it's bizarre to me. But again, that's that
But is it a matter of
pompous
they
fucking.
is it a matter of they were around before nu metal was a thing, and then it became a thing, and then people started saying, well, you're in this. And they're like, no, we've been around before this was even a thing. Don't try to put us into this category.
They were around 2 years before nu metal. If you want to say that Korn, a lot of people say Korn was the first nu metal band, and I won't argue that. Korn's first record came out in 1994, dude. Think about that.
Yeah.
Rage's first album came out in 92. We're only talking about 2 years.
Right.
So to say that you came before, it's like, well, not much. You know? And
I don't know if they are saying that. I'm just asking, is that a reason
I think a lot of
why-
people do say that. Because Rage was lumped into a different they were lumped in with the grunge and alternative bands of the time, whereas Korn started a new thing. And eventually a lot of the other bands caught up, and then there was a whole new genre. Because I don't think Korn was ever considered alt. People just didn't know what it was. They were like, what is this? It's weird metal? So do we call it weird metal? You know, like what is this? I think if we're just strictly talking top four, I think I would probably say that Loudwire got it correct. I could probably take out Deftones, which, by the way, not because I don't think as you know, they're one of my favorite bands, but I could probably replace Deftones with Rage, to be honest. That's just me.
just
And
to
I know
piss off
people
Tom
would
Morello?
crucify me for that, but whatever. Don't give a fuck. So, but as far as top four, I don't know if there's any others that I would put in there, you know. But System and Slipknot, those are two names that are thrown around, and I just don't see it. I don't agree with it.
Yeah. I still like Papa Roach and POD though.
So you would put them in your top four.
Maybe not in the top four, but definitely high up on the list if we're going past the top four.
I mean, if you're talking new metal, sure. I mean, the top 10, definitely both of them, in my opinion, for me. Could I create like an alt Mount Rushmore of like new metal bands no one's ever heard of that are Mount Rushmore for me, or the ones
Ju-
that weren't as
just-
popular
just-
that are Mount Rushmore
Just
to
alt
me?
bands? Just alt bands?
No, new metal bands, but they're new metal bands that are off the radar of anyone who's gonna write for Loudwire or any of the fucking people that read that shit.
I gotcha.
So I would say, and these are bands we've talked about, but the episode didn't come out. But I would definitely go 40 Below Summer. I would go Il Nino. I would go Snot.
So I still have the list that you picked on this episode.
Oh
that
yeah,
didn't
what's my
drop.
list? What's my list? What's my list?
So all three of those were on there.
What was my fourth? I can't remember.
So you had 5. You can't guess what the others 2 might be?
I'm trying. So tell me.
Spine Shank
Yeah. God damn it.
and Project 86.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, fuck yeah. But again, that's a band grew out of the sound after 2 records. So, and I think I even said that on that. I was like, yeah, I guess we'll call them new metal, but I don't think they put out 12 records or whatever it is. It's like,
I mean, I had some good picks on that one too.
well, yeah, what are
Crazy
yours? Tell
Train.
me.
Crazy Train, Crazy Town.
Crazy Train. Yeah, Crazy Town's a good one, but definitely not. What were your other ones?
I had Linkin Park,
Of course.
Papa Roach, POD, Cold, and Crazy Town.
See, again, is Cold new metal? I don't know if Cold's new
I don't
metal.
know.
Now.
Now that we're I don't. That was my pick then. I don't know. I had Power Man 5000 as an honorable mention.
Ooh.
Marilyn
Again,
Manson is an honorable mention.
what were my honorable mentions?
Drowning Pool and Head PE.
Those were mine?
That's what I've got here. Yeah.
Wow. I like that. I was on a different wavelength than my brain, and my brain was thinking differently.
Apparently so. Yeah.
Drowning Pool's a great one, man. That's another band again. Like lead singer doesn't die. What happens? Because they were well respected, dude, by their peers. So let's do some new music of the week instead of a throwback this week because I discovered a band and I sold on it.
This is a band you did not know of before.
Had no clue who they were as of yesterday until about 3 p.m. My buddy sent me the video.
That I would know who this is.
I don't think so, but I'm not going to
Okay.
tell you where. I'm just going to surprise you.
Okay.
But my buddy sent me a text with the link. He's like, this is their new song. I've been waiting for it. It's literally their first single ever as a band. And I was like, ooh, I'm going to buy that right now. And I bought it. So
Do
the
we know
band
where
is
this
called
band's from?
Hue. H-U-E.
Oh,
I'm assuming that's how they say this. I have not watched interviews or anything to verify. It has to be Hue, right? Song's
I
called
would think
Home.
so.
Stop now. Scared love is just a seat, matching cap and gown. Secrets ain't getting you far, but why you stop now? Is my fault giving you power just to bring me down, down, down? Sanity, amnesty, it all look just like a fantasy. Fantasy, taunted all the dreams you plan to be. Plan to be, I'd rather die for what I stand to be. Stand to be, stand to be, yeah. I was raised up on my own. I see it best when I'm alone.
I've been singing this hook all day. My wife was like, will you shut the fuck up already? I'm like, I can't. It's there. Can't help it.
Tricks out of trade, just tricks out of trade. Call a spade a spade, call a spade a spade. Lord, I love my wolves at home. Trying to give me all your baggage, but I'm dropping weight. If I'm not with the squad, I won't see the hate. Worship every single star, but tell me about my flaws, If it ain't helping with rent, then I don't answer calls. I was raised up on my own.
Give me your thoughts so far.
It's good.
Like it?
Yeah. I guess this band's on the come up, huh? They've only at like 2.25 thousand subscribers.
Oh yeah. It's yeah. No, I mean they literally just got signed too, like a couple
Nice.
weeks ago. So, and it's a small label, but nonetheless.
Best when I'm alone. Just tricks out of trade, just tricks out of trade. Call a spade a spade, call a spade a spade.
Take it back to a breakdown, fuckers.
Jesus,
Love
dude.
this
There's a lot of things.
Just take me fucking
Hands with it. Dude, that's a fucking ripper.
Good,
Did
I
you
like
say
it.
it has a lot of shit going on? Is that what you were
There's
saying?
a lot of Put that song into a category for me. That's what I thought. It's like 15 different.
It's got everything I love, man. Fucking R&B, hip hop, metal. They're
Looks like
from
they're from
DC.
Washington D.C. Yep.
That makes sense.
A very structured blueprint. The crushing riffs, ambitious vocal performances, and aggressive drums add to a polished stage presence that would shine for musicians and fans well beyond their years.
Our band bio is so dumb. Band bio, dude. Writing band bio. So here I just found this the other day. I was going through some boxes that we didn't empty when we moved into the house we're in now, and I found a promo sheet that we put together for radio stations. I'll hold it up. I don't know how well you're gonna be able to see it. Let me see. Damn it. See it? Okay.
Yeah, kind
So
of.
I put a bio on it, and I wrote this bio. You want to hear how fucking terrible I am? Energy can neither be created nor destroyed, but it can be manipulated. Through blood, sweat, and tears, KMKY's following has become magnetic. By way of a passionate live show and seductive hooks, even a passerby cannot help but be consumed by their music. Ugh. Ugh.
You know what that sounds to me like? You're a writer.
Ugh. I wonder if I can find. I'm not going to find Monsters. I wrote Monsters too. They're just both as cringe as the other one.
straight for you.